brass bell is heard. The tally is long since closed. Every striker position without extra words in the window. The bell calls, there's no profit for those who gave up the key. The platform burns the ice, our city holds its silence. The lantern shines dimly, a shadow on the door and rails. The bell rings, it is time for the reckoning. The ledger is alive, the lines of truth are made of steel. A matter of seconds, silence holds the lock. The bell is steady strike, the ice knocks along with it behind the back. The platform is zone of strict protocol. The lock is clamped by the bolt, you can't pass without a ring. The steel rail is silent, the sound in the oil is kept forever. The door of my back, only my own, and the water remain here. The lantern flickers, the reflection in the brass is hard. The bell will not forget those who walked into the night without excuses. We are in business, the tally's kept, the dead is on the palm. The bell strikes like a hammer, the throat tightens before the start. A sheet in the ledger, a Ghost mark held in the balance. The rail creaks, the lock yard in the depths of the night. The lock is sealed, the key in plain sight. Quiet control, the platform trembles in the icy air without phrases. The brass feeds those who keep the streets in order. The lantern holds the light, the shadow falls with the protocol. The bell, the call of those left without the right to speak. The bell of brass, cold like steel on the rails. A key in the hands of the closer. The door allows no strangers, the platform and the yard. Here the game is black and white, rules. The bell strikes a rhythm of reckoning without a word or a plea. The lantern draws a halo, the shadow glides under the wall. The ledger keeps the times of harsh decisions. There are no extra seals, the dead is closed without witnesses. We are on business, an icy calculation, a ringing call. The ring of the bell, a countdown for those who arrive in time. The door stands firm, the key won't tremble in the guard's hands. The platform burns with light, the ice retreats from underfoot. The bell, the eternal judge of the open yard. The rail will bind, every step is taken exactly according to Ghost. The lantern hits the face, the shadow flashes like a warning. The ledger keeps it sealed for those who survive the game. The bell on the platform is silence, the tally is drawn tight. The bell on the platform, a ring in the cold steel. Every strike without extra words, the word remains with the brother. The key is held in hand, the door is closed by the lock. The rail and the lantern, guardians of order in the alley. The brass ring, this is a tally that is not to be discussed. The platform waits for those who did not fold the bet. The bell calls, reflecting faces without deception. A matter of seconds, only our own remain here.
Ring in the glass is ice. Case is closed. Platform at night, the rail is cold. The cargo is settled, the oath is on the lock. The sign won't be removed from the finger. The staircase, a shadow where the lantern's light flickers. Her hand holds the ledger, term after term passes. In this ring a promise that the ice will not melt. The door is locked from outside, key in the pocket, silence. I repeat, the ring in the glass, it's a matter of seconds. Now one step back, the seal is set, the business in the system. The key is waiting, the palm, the steel arms, it will not betray. The alleyway whispers, keep your word in the code. The past tally cannot be written off. The bridges are burning rain, the rails moan quietly. The ice is tied around the ring, the hammer that does not strike. Here it means more than words. The lantern's halo is with it, no tears, no extra words. The ring is not lost, but time is frozen forever. In the glass, the code is reflected, both fear and protocol. The overpass is frozen, do not speak the password. The warehouse is empty, silence hums like a hammer in the hands. Rivets in the knots of fate, they don't tear, don't crack. The oath is not just a sound, but a weight that holds the term. The ledger in hand, the last page. The bell is silent, but the ring lives under the layer of ice. The ring, an unbreakable sign that will not receive breath. The door in the alleyway, it knocks, but does not open. It is written in the lines that words are shadow and cold weight. The lantern draws, faces sharpened without emotion. The lock grows strong along with the silence of the station yard. A knife rests in the letter of her hand, an inheritance of strictness. The platform meets the promise. The ice will not receive the change. Goes quietly, the oath will not dissolve the ring in an icy prison forever without a face, without a turn. Don't touch the glass, the ring, don't wear it, don't surrender it. The culprit is the promise, the curator of times and days. The rail goes into the darkness, hiding the step below. The seal is closed, precisely the check showed zero. The rivet in the metal, a hard codex without doubt. The lantern, my witness, the shadow, my ally in the night. You've left the yard, you won't return. The tally is kept, the ring is a memory without term, without torture, without flaw. The cold city waits, the dream will not be covered in ice. Dead is not forgiven, the key lies under the palm of the hand. The warehouse burns with silence, the gloom is the best protocol. The hammer waits in the dark, the strike will land on time. The door behind me I will close without a ring of words. The rails in the lantern, my path on the ice are my words. I repeat, the ring in the glass, a matter of seconds. The ring in the glass, a matter of seconds.
Key in the pocket, the door, no questions. The wait has become a habit, a knock on the platform. The lock doesn't wait, the process is removed from the tally. The seal is set and the key remains masked. A cold sheet in the ledger crackle, the rail trembles underfoot. We are on business. The key doesn't open, doesn't wait, and isn't waited for. There is no trace, only ice under the palm. Key in the pocket, door, no question, no question. Above the lips, shadows, the lantern, a dim halo experience. Like a hammer, heavy in the balance, rivers not like fighters in the depot. Duty to the standard, the ledger is in order. Steel is colder than the words behind the back in the pocket. A key with no chance to open the door. It waits for an order that will never come. Key in the pocket, the door, no question, no questions. The staircase is covered in the frost of dreams. I glance into the half-light where the sound is like a bell on the rails. Traces of rivets and slag, the seal is closed. A matter of seconds without words. The station yard is wet in the lantern's halo. The key in hand grips the shadow on the asphalt. It keeps a silence that the wind cannot break. Key in the pocket, door, no question, no question. The alleyway is silent, the rails are shackle and steel. The column is folded, the protocol is frozen. The warehouse walls are silent, silence is on the clock. This key is not for a lock, not for a door, not for openings or a trace in the snow. It is the last part, a cold winter. It waits for its hour in hand to hand, back. Key in the pocket, the door, no question, no question. The overpass hums, the steel chain jingles. The hammer is poised, ringing in the rhythm of fate. On the platform, the cold metal flash. The key does not leave and does not seek passages. It burns in the palm, but the order does not come. Only weight and steel and snow underfoot, all according to GOST. Tallies kept without words. Key in the pocket, the door, no question, no question. The shadow on the wall sways in the half-light. The key is frozen in the pocket, cold and hard. It waits for the order that will never go. The seal is pressed, the ledger is closed. The steel is silent, no one will step forward. The key, the last line in the list of locks. It waits without an answer in the night, without extra words.
I'm Hammer mark on the door, a message without extra words. The rail hums, the city wakes up in the shadow, a dark key in hand. Still closes the mouth, the sound of the hammer is lower than the steps are heard. We set the seal calmly, the traces left behind the wind. The lantern flickers, the line is clear and cold. We are on business, no hurry, no noise, no shout. The hammer's imprint, a sign that the tally is kept. The door holds steel and iron, standard by GOST. The hammer is invisible, but its sound leads the conversation. Slag on the platform, a co-record without words. The key is soaked in frost, the signal left in the night. The alleyway is silent, the doors are welded shut. The chain didn't flinch, the shadow lights stick on the concrete. A matter of seconds, the seal in the ledger is fixed. The hammer's trace, a code that cannot be erased. The cold hammer, shadows on the metal from the lantern's halo. Behind it there is no fire, only the cold of steady steps. The platform waits as always, the night without extra faces. The eternal protocol, the key in the chest and in the lock. The ringing of rails, only an echo of memory through the streets. The door's closed and the sign is read without questions. We stand behind every word and every silence without extra witnesses. The case was closed long ago. The platform is in smoke, the hammer's trace is simple and clear. The key holds the mouth, the half-light burns in the windows. The rails are cold, underfoot a steel ripple. The sound of the hammer is lower than the shiver in the frost. The ledger keeps the stamps and the imprints. The seal is on the lock with no right to a word. We don't argue, we don't challenge fate. The hammer sign is order in the chaos of the streets. The lock is strong, the hammer doesn't show its face. The lantern casts long shadows on the staircase. In the alley only an echo, steps dissolving through the night. The steel on the door, completely without external traces. The calculation is made, the contract is sealed in the details. The key on the palm is cooled from moisture and ice. The case is closed, the hammer did not come into the light. The imprint is the only witness to the business. Hammer mark on the door, a message without extra words. The seal is pressed, the sound is hidden in the depths of darkness. The key unlock an oath that we keep the tally firmly. The sound of the hammer, a shadow under every word spoken. The alleyway is frozen, the doors are still silent. The ledger column is closed, the matter of seconds has passed. The hammer's trace is not visible to the eyes, but it's clear to the city. The hammer's imprint, a sign that everything was done on time.
Yeah. Rail on the platform, the case is closed. Black metal whispers, the protocol of pages. The icy halo of the lantern shines dimly. Where there are no trains, only steel and memory. Every chip, a line in the ledger, the lock on the door. The keys are with silence, the shadow on the wall. The cold trace of the overpass, a matter of seconds. Further without witnesses. Rail on the platform, the case is closed. The rail leads into the darkness. The city is frozen, rivets of steel sheets. The tally is kept, the curse of the yard. The jingle of chains and the hammer. The dim light of the lantern draws frames of ice. The ledger without numbers, without faces. The platform is silent business without extra words. The wind in the wires repeats the protocol. Locked, the count is closed, the code comes out, the rail runs black, viscous and alive. The platform is empty, the steps have dissolved. Every ledge is a steel archive that the city remembers without extra words. The key on the palm, the path is long closed. Behind the door, the icy piece of concrete walls. The seal is set, the contract is unspoken. The rail is a chronicle that the night alone remembers. The case is closed, the rail is metal and memory. Slag and steel in the half-light of the overpass. The train does not run, only the silence rings. The platform is staged without spectators or words. The warehouse is forgotten, only reflections of the lock. Rivets hold a trace of former fates in the ledger. A line for every step. The lantern flickers, cuts a shadow on the wall. Business by the codex, steel cold in the chest. The rail is the silence of the city at night. Shadows are stretched under the icy light. The alleyway inhales the metallic ring. Every groove, a line from the protocol. Everything is sealed, 3 keys on the lock. The rail runs black, empty and forgotten, nothing but a trace and a broken bell. The platform is in fog, a note on the glass. Business by the tally, the rustle of steel sheets. The rail is the silence of the city at night. The lock is responsible, the keys in the wind's hands. The dim light closes the picture of the streets. No train is needed, only steel in its memory. The rail knows everything, it keeps it without words. The rusty hammer, frozen the weight of the protocol. The staircase, a cold shelter for rustling. Behind the nameless door, record without a voice. The rail is the city that we'll never forget. The case is closed, the rail is metal and memory.
Lock on the warehouse, the case is closed forever. The code still shackled, is silent under the lantern's halo. To know what's inside, a check made of pure iron. The door is locked but the city walks around not interfering. Traces on the rails,
Step without answer in the void. The seal is set, no one will break the silence here. The key on the palm is left without claims. We are on business and in the door there are no cracks, no wounds.
the door is on the lock, the telly's kept with a conversation. The warehouse is bound by ghost rivets without extra words. The city looks away but doesn't rush towards the iron. A visit into the secret, a matter of seconds, but all is indestructible. The ledger did not give up the place for disclosure. The dim lantern listens to the shadow on the rough concrete wall. The warehouse yard silent is still frozen in the sign and questions it is closed. The seal is pressed on the bundles. This lock is silenced with the threat of a rusty hammer. Around the overpasses, the platform is quiet, smoothed over inside. Not our words, but the coldness of clocks. The ring is not broken, the steel chain holds the rear in the alleyway. The whisper subsides, matches go out. They're an icy track, the soul of the moves is without us. The conversations are dead, the deaf door is speaking. The lock is the message, silence is more important than speech.
Just places without a key and without the possibility of entry. The rails from upwards into the gloom, further without witnesses. The platform hides what the whole city yard knows, but no one goes and the door remains closed. A single rivet on the shackle, a guarantee of a strict reception. The question is solved, no one grows old in the first duty by the cold loyalty. Still without substitutes, a lock lives with a quiet storm. The cold behind the gray wall, silence breaks
When the ringing in the city dies down, and somewhere behind the warehouse the ice sparkles like a seal. The rails be there, we'll know what world to enter. The ledger keeps on lensing its lines of lens and casts light only on shadows.
Given no chance, the door underlocked, the case is closed. Behind the wall, they don't count. Those who sky beyond this court and in the lock, the key is a legend and no one will take it. Lock on the warehouse, the case is closed forever. The city circles around, not deciding to break the boundary. The heavy shackle, the hammer responsible for the peace. The door is locked with iron, whose language is silence. The key on the palm, no one risks the secret. The question is closed here without extra words or doubts. We are on business and the door hints at the cold. Steel knows no mercy, the case is closed forever.
Chain on the door, a step back, questions are closed. The fingers are firmly memorized, every cold of the steel shackles. 2 doors, 2 shadows, there is no entrance to this yard. The lantern's halo trembles, but silence is an iron shield. The key is missing from the ledger. The lock is silent without an answer. The platform is empty, the echo of steps has been knocking for years. The chain of border for those who stayed and those who left without a trace. Warmth is only where the fingers left the burden of nightly debts. Chain on the door, a step back, questions are closed. The warehouse is in half-light. The chain pulls the door tight with deception, the lure of silence and the frost. The seal is set, the tally is kept, the rivets are stuck with rust, like fragments of secret deals. The overpass looks through the frost at the yard of a locked fate. A hammer breaks the silence, but the door is a stone wall. The lantern nods with a shadow, without extra words we are here on business. Fingers on the chain left their warm imprint, the ring will unlock someday. For now, steel holds it, the door is a hole, a matter of seconds the case is closed. In the alleyway the book is silent, the lines are frozen without movement. A spark from a match on the wires, the light barely scatters the gloom. The rails are dusty with snow under them strangest tracks. The door and chain, a crossroad for those who will not return. Warmth only in the imprints, left in the cold. The glass is covered with frost, the lantern's halo trembled. The key disappeared in the palm, the lock holds his speech without answers. Their hands are marks on the steel. The gates of history without words, the chambers the doors where journeys are completed. The yard is empty, the hammer glides over the notes of the seals. The platform is frozen, like a frame in an old ledger. The underpass is locked tight with the echo of chains. The edge of the bell sound presses on the walls of the half-light. Fingers warm the metal, but the path is closed. The business acknowledged, the rivets on the chain of memory for those who passed and did not return. The lock has accepted the oaths, without witnesses, without words. The chain leaves an imprint on the door that no one will open. Gradation, a thorn in the points, the touch, the steel chain. The ledger is sealed, the lines are empty like eyes. The wires hang shackled, the cold has frozen their movement. The chain holds the door tight, a cold arrest of space. The key in hand, an illusion. The lock, the final protocol. The lantern's halo trembles, reflecting in the mirror of steel. The platform, silence and ice, the border between them and us. Fingers left warmth amid the ice of the service station. The door is locked, the chain holds everything here was decided long ago. The door remembers the fingers, a warm touch of absence there. The chain on two doors, a sign that there is no path here. Fingers carry within them the history of a forgotten passage. The lock under the weight of metal keeps the whisper of those who let go. The bell in the distance strikes with cold. The voice of the departing is beyond measure. The alleyway serves as a border between being and disappearing. The seal stands as gates of the warehouse of a worn out face's memory. Beyond the chain is peace, a check of the silence to which no one will come. A matter of seconds, the chain is cool like a frozen breath. Chain on the door, a step back, questions are closed.
Knife in the alley. The case is closed. A dim lantern, a wet leaf, wicker sheet, the icy rail in the warehouse window, slagging the asphalt, the term is up, it's time. The knife's handle under a layer of rain. This is not a thread, the circle of business, this is complete. The legend, the signature, a stamp, the tally is kept. The sound became part of the calm. Knife in the alley, the case is closed. The alleyway is in haze, shadow on the walls, key in the pocket, the door is not open. The hammer is frozen, the shackle holds the word. We are without extra words, the business is understood. Fog, glass and rust, the world is run by a clear gust. The platform is empty, the overpass is silent. We are on business, and time does not wait. The seal is set, the case is closed. Handle glistens in the raindrops. The lantern's halo, the term was up long ago. The stairwell creaks underfoot. The rivet on the door, the debt was closed. The chain caught the breath of the night.
The knife is not an enemy, it is the full stop on the deal. The door is locked, we know what happened. The seal is pressed, a matter of seconds. The seal is set.
Days closed. The last rail sounds hollowly in the silence. The warehouse is empty, the thunder of the hammer is frozen. The knife in the alley, not for threats, but a blood sign understood by only one. The key in the palm, the eyes go dark late. The ledger, the line is crossed out. The underpass hides the silence, the dead is closed. The question is off the tally. We are on business, the case is closed. Case is closed. Knife's handle, cold and calm. On the asphalt, traces of rain. Rumbled silences, a better answer than word. The station yard, the steady step of a vibe. The lock is closed, the key is wiped on the palm.
The alleyway sighs under supervision. The knife is left not to ignite troubles, but as a finale that those in the know will read.
We are on business, the case is closed.
The lantern flickers in the shadow of the turns. The knife on the concrete slab has cooled. The tally is kept. The column is filled. The case is closed without words of requiem. The seal is set. The key lies in the palm. The basement hums with the echo of others' voices. The knife in the alley, a sign of silence,
A message that only our own will understand. Knife in the alley, the case is closed. The case is closed. Yeah. Ledger under dust, the business continues without words. The warehouse is empty, door closed, lock on the lock. In the shadow of the lantern, an icy trace flickers. The steel is deaf, the rail is silent, light freezes in the glass. The book lies, its pages in cold order. Time erases the names, but the traces run deep. A seal on every line, a debt that is not forgotten. The case is closed by the tally, it all adds up.
the dust has settled. We on business, words are needed.
The seal is set, the boilers ring. There is no forgiveness here. In the corner of the warehouse, ash and the rust of a train. The frosted key glides over the seams of the sheets. The ledger, a chronicle of nightly deaths. The forgotten names will not return to the light. The door is locked, the protocol is protected from the wind. The warehouse, a cold yard where memory is faceless. The ledger collected the traces. I see the dead and will remember.
The dust has settled. We on business, words are needed.
The silence hums, the iron sinks into the gloom. The rail knocks dimly as if the term was up long ago in the bookmark. Precious without words for centuries. Every stamp a reproach for those outside the law. The lantern with its halo throws shadows into the corner. Rivets fasten the sheets like goats with no right. The alleyway forgets those who are on the list and dead. The ledger a trace like a scar left in the concrete.
The dust has settled. We on business, words are needed.
The lock always silence and held the balance of the count. In the warehouse, twilight and icy hammer knocks. The names fade, but the indentations are alive. We conduct business by gods and keep the trace. The window glasses fall from other steps. The platform is empty, cold here is like law. The ring of the key on the table, a sign that the dead is not forgotten. The ledger, a still memory that the frost has not broken.
The dust has settled. We on business, words are needed.
Protocol is closed, the shadow on the wall trembles evenly out, the names are like an echo. Disappeared in the half-light, but the book remembers all. And the dead is still ahead, the station yard is empty. Time has shackled the ringing. The path is closed for a long time, but the traces cannot be erased. The case is closed, the dead is left behind. The ledger, this is a code tested by fire. The dust has settled, we are on business, words are needed. Still mixed with dust, the cold hides every layer. The warehouse, a fortress of oblivion, where the book lies alone. Shadows on the staircase glide like lines within it. The memory is sealed, so it won't be erased by the wind. There are no names, but the imprints in the paper are alive. The rail goes to the path and to the ring. The key is strictly applied. The ledger, the sign of our honor, are dead outside of time. The dust will settle, but the tally is kept at the end. The dust has settled, we are on business, words are needed. Words are needed.
Lantern on the platform, time is a question of code. Flash for a moment, business, a matter of seconds. The halo flickers. The path is through steel slag, rivet on the door, the key waits in the hand. The shadow on the concrete wall speaks without words. The beams cut the air, a cold standard.
The platform trembles from the silence of the rain. The lantern will bling, the tally is kept again. The lantern will bling, the tally is kept again. The code hums through the wires, a call to step forward. A seal on the ledger, a path with no rights. The lock hides under the halo like a snake. We are on business, the doors close forever. The rails, lines of fate, a rustle shifts, the overpass sleeps. Only the lantern lives in the fog, a knife in the pocket. A cold pledge, no words, be silent until the platform arms the current. The lantern will bling, the tally is kept again. The fire of neon shimmers into steel endurance. It's gust without compromises. The lantern shadow, an oath under the sign of the key. The lock trembles from the cold of long nights. Nothing is forgotten, every step is protocol. The cable trembles, transmitting only the code. The platform, a mute stage without actors. He who knows the time reads the answer. The lantern will bling, the tally is kept again. In a shirt made of steel, a cold stream. The lantern whispers messages of the night to the rails. The ledger will close the page on time. Wait without words, only a glance and a seal. The door is locked, a meeting place of ice. The river knocks like the heart of the city. The alleyway is watching, the neon trembles in the night. The ringing of a bell here, a warning in the air. The lantern will bling, the tally is kept again. The platform will give the cipher only to those who know the answer. The overpass is sat under the cold fire. Key in the palm, the case is closed. A pledge, the lantern in the neon will show the way beyond the edge. Chain between the steps, a hard standard. The glass trembles, reflecting the icy light. Fate is silent hammer on the rivets. He who understands the time will take his word. The lantern will bling, the tally is kept again. The light will flash and fade, you will read between the lines. The platform a frontier where everything is decided. The thing in your hand, legacy or oath. The cold smoke hides an invisible ring. The door is locked with a key, the tally without witnesses. The lantern's halo, a code on a steel shield. The path is open to those who manage to solve it. The lantern will blink and the world will fade to dust. The lantern will blink, the tally is kept again.
Glove on the palm, the case is closed forever. The door is locked, the key can't be moved without a report. Underfoot the rail, cold like the steel between us. A gaze without deviation, the business is done strictly. The lantern shines dimly, the shadow on the wall sways. The rusty hammer strikes, the seal is under the weight of pain. Every movement, a hard ritual in the business. The path is by GOST control, the standard for the living. The glove won't come off. The chain holds order, the steps in time not slowing. The platform hums, the overpass is frozen steel, a shackle in the ledger. Line to line without shifting, time is a shovel that digs up the old tally in the shadow of the alleyway where the ring of rabbits is heard. The protocol is simple, silence is the sacred law. Without extra words, we know that a long silence awaits. The seal stands firm, the doors are closed forever. The glove won't come off. In the palm, a sign with no right to error. The depot is under snow, the rails like lines of life. The underpass hums with the ghost closures there, where old wounds do not touch the borders. Every step is measured like a hammer with its rusty head. The warehouse is tightened with a chain, the cold knocks on the grate. A ritual with no right of refusal or deviation. The path is held in check, steel knows no mercy. The glove won't come off. Tally is sealed, a matter of seconds. The lock holds slag on the platform, a sign that time doesn't count. Under the lantern, the halo, a shadow draws on the wall. The rails keep the path along which we walk. The staircase a temple without extra questions. The seal will not be washed away, the cold will remain with us. The gloved hand, a promise in the knots of protocol. We do not break the circle. The dead is known by fact, the glove won't come off. In oil, the shackle fastens the chain of the iron grate. The ledger, a reflection of the clear lines of fate. The lantern rarely goes out, the shadow holds back, retreats under the door lock. Silence instead of words, by the tally it all adds up. The order is strict and iron, the standard holds us tight. The blood won't be touched again, the old platform here's the steps of no return. The ritual at the fingertips, steel instead of wounds. The glove won't come off. City whispers through the snow, the wires like strict threads. The overpasses and frost, the coal is at full speed. The gloved hand, a solid thing that doesn't tear apart. The business is decided, the key keeps the silence strictly. The door is closed, the seal stands behind the wall. Without words, our rhythm is a clear move. The load has long been heavy, the steps go like a watchman, law and order. The glove on the hand, the border of a past scar. The glove won't come off. Won't come off.
Sterile glass in the cracks, an icy code, finger on the lock. The tally's kept without words. The lantern's halo cuts a shadow on the walls. The platform hums, a matter of seconds here. The pain is riddled, but it will not crack. The rails underfoot, compass is waiting, key under the arm. Steps are heard behind the glass, the tally is closed with iron. The door holds reliably, nothing is broken. Even in the cracks there is still the lantern whispers of duty without extra words. The staircase is tightly compressed, the standard is a protocol. The sheet in the ledger, the necessary line number. The seal is on the lock, he who came will find out. The alleyway peers out from under the flicker of a candle. The project is strong, even with cracks in the seams. Business by GOST without extra signs of weakness. The pain cracks but not a single edge is gone. And under reliable protection an icy ring shines through. The lock on the door will hold if anything. The case is closed, the answers are behind every shackle. The bell is far but the signal is not empty. In this yard there is no place for empty promises. Through the cracks the reflections multiply. The city divides the warehouse, stealing a broken pane. In the palm a key, in the chest a cold calculation. The station at night, a home for those on business. The ring of rails and hammer, in the heart of the industry. The shackle on the door is stronger than the steels of the era. The glass is cracked, but holds everything firm. The platform waits, we exit without words. The seal is set, every minute is counted. Silence in the passage, a sign the doll is under control. The pain is frozen, splitting into parts. In the reflections the city, like a mirror with cracks. The chain on the lock whispers further without witnesses. In this yard there are no breakthroughs or complaints. The warehouse is under the cold there, where the standards are sacred, the sign of the right movement. A steady step, the ledger keeps all our codes. The door is closed, the question is solved without words. Stairwell glass in the crack, an icy code. Key in the palm, the tally's kept without words. The pain is riddled, but it will not crack. The rails underfoot, calmness is waiting. Nothing is broken, even in the cracks there is steel. The seal on the lock, the protocol and the sign. The project is strong, even with cracks in the seams. Business by GOST, there have been no questions for a long time.
The shovel by the wall, the case is always closed. The platform is in half-light, the key lies in the hand. The station yard is cool, no shadow, no trace. The lanterns hail a signal without words or phrases. No whip, no threats, just method and protocol. The pass is covered with one neat sweep. The rails are silent like signs, the tally is kept strictly. The door is locked, the seal is set, we are on business underfoot. The city metal slack and a shadow on the wall. The ledger is silent, the tally is not kept in vain. The shovel is not a reproach, it is not a weapon. It will cover the trail from lies and from history. After every sweep, an empty column, a rivet on the door. Silence and steel, the shadow by the staircase, order and steps. The dead is closed, a matter of seconds. No one will leave, half-light and frost. The overpass hovers, the shovel stands. A way to pass decisions, the key to calm is in the pocket. The chain breaks quietly, the warehouse like an archive. That's the lockers under control behind every word and knock the movement of the plan. The alleyway knows the price of the strictest cost. The lantern flickers, the tally is kept mercilessly. The door is smooth but closed, the dead is on the scales. There is no place for fear here, just cold without deception. The rails laid into the fog, the tracks under the asphalt. The shovel not a brand but an instrument of oblivion. The station groans with ice, the dawn rises over the city. The seal is pressed, the key in hand. The drop point far from the noise for those who keep the tally slag and steal the foundation, the base under the color of snow. The tally is kept precisely, the past will be gone. In the hand the shovel, a feeling of heavy work. Behind it breaks the curtain of the cold streets. No threats, no hopes, just a close protocol. A match won't light, silence is more important than fire. The lantern on the platform, the city doesn't hear us. The ring on the finger, the sign that the dead is fulfilled. The underpass, a line of silence. The door is locked, the tally is counted. Witnesses are gone, the city rises in the flicker of icy contours. The shovel by the wall, the stage is closing clean. Control is not a question, but a steady count in the night. Step by step the past, buried in the concrete. The rails lead away, the night says goodbye to us. The key in the palm, the door locked without words. Work is done, the shovel no longer moves.
witnesses. The case is closed.
Cable on the overpass, the case is closed. The steel is bare, this is no place for void. The bridge holds a streaming shadow as if offline. The wire is leave but the connection is cut. The tally is kept under the lantern. Shadows glide on the concrete river. The seal is set, the breath in the city is ice. The key is in hand but the door was locked long ago by another. In this movement, a step without extra word. The signal isn't coming, the connection is intentionally broken. Steel is in plain sight like a knife on an empty platform. Under the overpass, a secret connection is being torn. The sound freezes, not reaching the silence. Behind every break is hidden a cold-blooded count. The platform is cold, in the air is a hard gust. A hammer beats in rhythm, a chain holds the order. In the city, there is no place for broken contact. The cable is torn, remnants of steel stick out from under the roofs. On the staircase, a shadow cuts the air like a knife. It remembers the protocols, the entries in the ledger. The connection was intentionally severed on time. The lock is useless, the line is iced over thin. Cold ice lies on the concrete at night. We keep the tally in silence, a matter of seconds to close. Without extra words, the door is sealed behind us. The steel hangs out, knocking in time with cold steps. The lanterns draw a halo on the broken threads. The rails are empty, the overpass is no place for connection. All that remains is the tension hanging in the air. The door is locked, the connection is cut, the tally continues. The alleyway is silent, only the skill will find the traces. The seal is pressed, the chain, the final break. The city whispers in the wires, the business already done. The cable is torn, the steel pales in the cold light. In the ledger, a column, the line is cut forever. The protocol is invisible but holds the steel lock. The platform is silent, no one will pass it. The key lies in the palm but they don't open the door. In this icy quest of figures there are no extra words. The signals are not coming, everything is disconnected on time. Behind every break a cold codex is at work. Yeah. Cable on the overpass, the case is closed. The steel is bare, this is no place for void. The bridge holds a streaming shadow as if offline. The wire is live but the connection is cut. The tally is kept under the lantern. Shadows glide on the concrete river. The seal is set, the breath in the city is ice. The key is in hand but the door was locked long ago by another. In this movement, a step without extra words.
Punctual non-profanity. The door is welded, the case is closed. The lock is in place, we do as we must. The key in the ledger, a single line. The rail under the platform, a quiet watch. No one will exit, no one will enter. The rivet is set without extra words. Discipline is the silence of the walls. The platform is moonlit, the cold rain. The door is sealed, it can't be breached. A shadow stands on the concrete walls. The lantern in the yards flickers. The seal is set, the tally is kept. We are on business, further without words. The keys are down, the door will not yield. Neither entry nor exit, a stop line. The case is closed, the door will not change. The rails are without noise, time does not wait. The ring on the finger, a debt with no rights. The hammer ring without noise. The staircase, ice on the hands. The lantern threw its halo on the door. The ledger, a hard protocol. Every step a shadow in a layer of steel. No entry, no exit, the rule is one. The rivets have merged into an unbreakable rope. The lock is silent, the hammer has spoken. The door is locked, further without witnesses. The door will not bar, not one step back. The station yard is under firm control. The column in the ledger, a dash in response. The keys are buried in concrete strips. Discipline, a seal on fate. The ring jingles, silence is on the clock. The lock in the door, the union is made clear. The case is closed, this is the final step. The door is welded, the case is closed. The lock is in place, we do as we must. The river decides, above is the grid, below is the ice. The platform, a zone without extra words. No one will exit, no one will enter. The keys are in hand, we are on business. Discipline is the silence of the walls. The platform is moving